Once a wrestler reaches the top of WWE, they expect big-time matches and big-time payoffs. Throughout WWE history, there have been some astronomical paydays for WWE wrestlers, as well as outside stars that have subsequently broken records and made people outside the wrestling industry realize just how lucrative the WWE paychecks can be. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 insane WWE paydays for one single match. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our non-wrestling channel, Incredible. Number 10. Chris Jericho, $100,000. In 2018, at the greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view, Chris Jericho had his last WWE match to date before he jumped over to AEW. Jericho would take part in the Royal Rumble match, and according to Jericho, he received one of the largest paydays of his entire career. As per the Wrestling Observer, the inaugural WWE Undisputed Champion was paid $100,000 for his appearance in the match. Jericho would later discuss this huge payday in an interview with the Mirror UK, and he revealed, "It was a long trip for a short period of time. I think I was in the Rumble match for 4 minutes or something like that. I know they must have paid me a whole lot of money just by proxy of what I was paid." I was like, oh my gosh, really? You're gonna pay me to do this? How much are you guys making? Jericho was in the Rumble match for just over 3 minutes. That meant that he was making around $33,000 per minute for his work in the match. Number 9. Jeff Jarrett, $200,000. A wrestler's holding up promoters for money is rare, but it has happened a number of times during WWE history. Take for instance in 1999, Jeff Jarrett's contract had expired and he was WCW bound. The issue was that he was still the reigning Intercontinental Champion, and WWE wanted Jarrett to wrestle and drop the title to China at the No Mercy pay-per-view. Jarrett refused to wrestle the match unless he received a figure of around $200,000. This figure is highly contested, as it has been reported that Jarrett may have held McMahon up for significantly more. Nevertheless, Jarrett justified this by stating that he was owed extra money for prior dates. McMahon reluctantly agreed, and Jarrett proceeded to drop the title to China. This would heavily damage the relationship between Jarrett and McMahon for a number of years. It was only in 2018 when the relationship between the two sides began to heal. Number 8. The Ultimate Warrior, $550,000. It's well documented just how problematic the Ultimate Warrior could be. This was on full display in summer of 1991. 1 month before WWE's annual SummerSlam pay-per-view, Warrior would write a letter to Vince McMahon threatening to no-show the show, but that was unless he was paid over $500,000. Warrior believed that this was a fair fee and it was legally owed to him. Warrior was set to be in the main event of the show, and this left McMahon with no choice to pay the former WWE champion the fee. Although McMahon gave in to the Warrior's demands, it was McMahon who got the last laugh, as the moment SummerSlam was off the air, McMahon suspended Warrior effective immediately. Number 7. Goldberg, $2 million. WWE's relationship with Saudi Arabia has resulted in wrestlers receiving enormous paydays for taking part in Saudi shows. According to prominent UK wrestling journalist Alex McCarthy, Goldberg received a figure of $2 million for his infamous match against The Undertaker at the Super Showdown show in 2019. This match was heavily panned by fans, as it was the worst showcase possible for the two wrestling legends. There were several botches in the match that could have resulted in serious injury, and Goldberg would go on to call the match a complete train wreck. The match is arguably one of the worst matches in WWE history, and it's insane to know that Goldberg received $2 million for a performance of that nature. In relation to the dead man's fee for the match, it was never disclosed or reported by a notable source, but you have to logically assume that it was similar, if not more than Goldberg's eye-opening fee. Number 6. The Undertaker, $2 million. One of the top matches on the WrestleMania 34 card was John Cena colliding with The Undertaker. This match was notable for a number of reasons. Firstly, the year prior, The Undertaker seemingly retired in a lackluster match against Roman Reigns. However, the dead man wasn't happy with the quality of the said match, so decided to continue wrestling. Additionally, this was two WWE icons facing for the first time on the grand stage of WrestleMania. The two had wrestled before, but this would be the first and only time that Cena and Taker would face off at a WrestleMania event. The match was, well, it was rather disappointing. Fans expected a full-blown epic match between the two, but it was simply a showcase of Taker's movesets and was basically a squash match, with Taker retaining the victory. The match lasted just 2 minutes and 45 seconds, which was simply not what fans wanted. It was reported by Fox Sports that Taker was paid $2 million for his WrestleMania match with Cena. This was a ludicrous amount of money for a squash match, but just shows how much value WWE believed the dead man contributed to prior WrestleMania events. Number 5. Brock Lesnar, $3 million. Brock Lesnar continues to be one of the WWE's biggest draws, and this extends to his appearances at Saudi-based pay-per-view events. In 2018 at the Crown Jewel show, Lesnar was paid $3 million for his match against Braun Strowman. The match was for the vacant Universal title, and the match lasted just 3 minutes in length, meaning that Lesnar was paid $1 million per minute for the match, which is truly hard to comprehend. It's worth noting that Lesnar vs Strowman wasn't the original match for the show. Originally, it was supposed to be Roman Reigns vs Lesnar vs Strowman, however due to Reigns needing treatment for leukemia, Reigns was forced to vacate his Universal title and subsequently take time away from WWE. Number 4. Shawn Michaels, $3 million. WWE fans were stunned when it was announced that the legendary Shawn Michaels would be coming out of retirement in 2018. HBK would team up with Triple H to take on the Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel. Fans were surprised because HBK had the perfect retirement back in 2010, and the send-off match couldn't have gone any better. The match itself showed that every man in the match had seen better days, and there were a number of botches, and Triple H would even tear his pec. The match was messy and poorly executed, and it was clear that HBK wasn't emotionally invested in what he was doing. HBK's decision to come out of retirement received extensive criticism, especially due to how disappointing the comeback match was. The Hall of Famer was reportedly paid $3 million for the match, which likely explains why HBK ultimately made the bold decision to take part in this match. Number 3. Mike Tyson, $3.5 million. The involvement of Mike Tyson of WrestleMania 14 was a huge deal. Tyson was one of the most recognizable names in the world, and his involvement certainly helped contribute to WrestleMania's substantial success. Tyson would act as a special outside enforcer for the main event between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and his appearance received praise as fans believe that Tyson worked well in the role. Due to his star power, he was reportedly paid $3.5 million for his appearance, and WWE would even give Tyson a motorcycle at Tyson's request. Tyson would go on to make later wrestling appearances both in WWE as well as AEW, but it's unlikely that he would have been paid anything close to $3.5 million for these appearances. Number 2. Tyson Fury, $15 million. WWE would welcome Tyson Fury to the WWE family in 2019 with welcome arms, as the decorated boxer would proceed to work a match for the company at the Crown Jewel event. Fury would wrestle Braun Strowman in a match that left a lot to be desired, and Fury would win the match via a countout. Whilst the match wasn't exactly a technical masterpiece, Fury had a great appreciation for the world of WWE. This was something that fans instantly acknowledged and respected. For his match with Strowman, Fury was reportedly paid a whopping $15 million, therefore it's no wonder he was so keen to work with WWE on future projects. And number 1, Floyd Mayweather, $20 million. One of the top matches on the WrestleMania 24 card was the Big Show taking on Floyd Mayweather. In 2008, Mayweather was one of the biggest names in boxing, so this crossover match was a huge deal, and this was shown when over 1 million people purchased the pay-per-view. A lot of the success of the pay-per-view came down to Mayweather's involvement, as boxing fans were curious to see how he did in the WWE environment. The match itself was well received, and Mayweather delivered a fantastic performance, and Big Show was as professional as they came. Mayweather received what seems to be the biggest payday in WWE history, as he received $20 million for that match. This figure was validated by ESPN back in 2008, and it's unbelievable to think that the biggest payday in WWE's decorated history went to a non-wrestler. But there you have it folks, 10 insane WWE paydays for one single match. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.